Let me actually unmute myself for this interview this time. That
Nobody
was the
wants to hear
lesson.
you, John.
Yeah,
Nobody wants
no,
to
not
hear you.
anymore. No, they don't. Joining us, that was the lesson from what I'm being told in the chat is
Is
actually Imonolith.
Imonolith.
There we
Yes.
go.
There it
I'm
is.
used to iPhones nowadays, so I'm good to
That's
get
it.
that out so I don't
Just
embarrass
use an
myself.
Android like a sane person.
No,
Yeah.
I can't. I've been using this for too long. My
I.
phone and my computer
That's it.
are
I'm
too
out.
attached
I
to each
can't.
other.
I
This
gotta.
this introduction has already gone way off the rails, everybody. Joining us, and I'm
At
gonna
least he's
butcher.
laughing.
He is. That's a good sign. Ryan Van Poederooyen. How did I do
Holy
with that one?
shit. I can't believe you actually nailed that.
Fuck yeah!
That's
I'm
Nice,
making up for it,
Coach
everybody.
John.
And
man,
from here on out, I'm just calling you RVP. That's it.
that's the easy way. It's funny whenever I go to Holland and I tour over there, I get the people over there say my last name. They say it better than I do, so
Oh, nice.
I'm impressed, man. Nice work, John.
Fuck yeah, thank you very much. Well, welcome. Thank you for sharing your time with us. I know the album's been out for a couple of weeks, but we're happy to get you on and talk about it today.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's wind the clock back just a little bit, right? I'm sure you're tired of rehashing this, but for those in the chat that are just getting on to you guys for the first time, y'all released your first album right as the world was going to shit. I think it was the end of March of 2020. So no idea that this was coming when the process was going and all that other stuff. How long did it take you guys to decide, like, okay, we can't do anything now, we're going to get right back into the writing process so we can do something? And what was having that time to create like for you guys?
Well, first of all, it was fucking crazy, man, because we had a tour. Well, our album came out March 27, 2020. And then we had a tour that was starting March 27th, 2020 in the UK. Headlining tour that we had booked. And so that got canceled 9 days before it was about to start. And no one really knew how long or how bad this would go on for. So obviously everyone knows how long it went on for now. End of 2020, we had already rescheduled our tour twice. And, we were like, okay, we're pushing this to the end of, 2021 kind of thing. And we decided then in 2020, now it's time to start writing, because we're a brand new band. We haven't toured or supported our debut album. And what are we going to do? Just sit here for 2-3 years? We don't know how long, and do nothing. So we got back to writing. And originally, Progressions, our second release, was supposed to be an EP. And, we're just going to release a few songs and then maybe do an EP. But as things progressed and we realized we had to reschedule a tour for a fourth time, we decided to turn it into an album. But it's not really a typical album. It's like an extended EP, I guess. I don't know what the fuck you would describe it as, but that's
A mini
what we
album,
decided.
I think, is what those are starting to be called.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. There's so many different subgenres for how you can call a record these days. But that's how it basically all unfolded for us. We just wanted to keep some music out there, keep relevant until we could tour.
Yeah, and I know that throughout your career, you have been in bands that have been prolific, that have been like doing tons of tours all the time. You've been like very busy. Was that hard to get used to, just knowing that, okay, we have no end date in sight for recording, for writing, for any of this? Do you think that helped or kind of hurt what you guys are doing?
Well, I don't know. I'm a positive dude, but at the same time, it's like I'm realistic. And when you release an album that you've been working on for a couple of years, and then you release, and then you can't do shit with it until basically, our headlining tour is now January of 2023. Yeah, it kind of hurt, because what's the deal these days? You release a record and then you tour the shit out of it. We released a record and couldn't do nothing about it. So, but we kept busy on social media. We did a bunch of different things that we could. Lots of people were doing live streams, but we do playthroughs, and we just keep busy so we could keep our followers happy, right? But yeah, you try and take the positive from it, but in the end, it wasn't the best scenario at all for us, and including any other band out there.
Yeah, of course. And I'm sure that we'll get into the upcoming tour and having, 2 albums worth of material to get through and everything like that. But Cori, I want you to jump in and ask your questions.
Well, I just want to say as one of your social media followers, I can say I have thoroughly enjoyed your content. Especially, I love that you just willingly meme yourselves. So anybody who's watching this right now, if you're not following Imonolith, go follow them. Watch all of their content because it's all hilarious. So yes, go do the thing. Who makes all the memes?
That's John. John
Yeah.
is awesome. Our singer is hilarious. Actually, everyone in the band are comedians to some extent, right? It's just we have fun. It's a good time. Yet at the same time, we take our music seriously. But that was John. Yeah.
Yeah, that was excellent. But
Yeah.
back on topic, since the album is called Progressions after all, and you were able to kind of just go straight into it from your first album, not totally, willingly, but how do you feel between the first album and this album? How do you feel things did progress, and what are some things that you were really excited to do either differently or to try on this second album?
That's a great question. Well, State of Being was pretty straightforward. We wanted to go in with a super raw approach. There were no samples, there were no DIs. It was all amps, drums, mic'd up, real deal sounds, right? We just wanted to go bare bones and show this is us in the raw, right? And we debuted it that way, loved that record and everything. But with Progressions, the reason obviously why the album was called that is we wanted to show the progressions that we're making as a band, how we're taking things differently. There were some samples, there were DIs, but more importantly, we have like samples and keyboards in the background. We even tried some cover songs. We did a cover of Army of Me by Bjork, and then we did another cover of Nine Inch Nails, We're in This Together. And then musically, we tried a few different things. There's an acoustic song, which people wouldn't expect from us. Then there's some really heavy shit, The Lesson. And you can hear the different progressions that we've done. The music and songwriting became a little more progressive than State of Being as well. And that's why we wanted to name the album Progressions. I just need to say this, the fact that the album itself is showing the progression of the band. We put demos on there too. We put covers, we put original music. And in our PR release, we said right off the bat, this isn't going to be your typical record. We're showing the progression of where the band started up to where we are now. And that's why we include those demos and everything else. So that's basically the whole thing. And yeah, it's like we're super proud of it and we love where it's headed.
Yeah, definitely. And then just one real quick question on the covers. Obviously, when people pick a cover song, it's a song that holds some sort of special place either in their inspiration or their musical journey. What about those two songs were so special to you guys that made you want to cover them and put them on this album?
That's interesting question, because Army and Me, I used to have a band. It was actually my solo project way back in the day, like 2008, called Terror Syndrome. And just something I did on the side while I was playing with Devin Townsend band and project. And we had a little break, so I did that album. We actually did a cover, that version that we did with Imonolith, of Army of Me. And I always loved that song. The first time I heard it back in like 95, I'm like, oh shit, imagine if someone did that super heavy, and just distorted guitars and stuff. So I always loved it. That's why we picked that one. I brought it up to the guys who were like, yeah, let's do it. I showed them the Terror Syndrome version, but we redid it our own way, and there it is. And as for the Nine Inch Nails, I'm a huge Trent Reznor fan. Love Nine Inch Nails. The whole band loves Nine Inch Nails, and that's my favorite song. And again, I just brought it up to everyone. I'm like, hey, what do you guys think of this? And John's like, he's a huge Nine Inch fan. Kai, our guitar player, is a massive Nine Inch fan, and that's how that song was chosen. So everyone dug it. We did it. We love it.
Awesome sauce. John?
Yeah, so yeah, I do, because you were mentioning about how this release Progressions wasn't your typical release, and it was you guys had to be creative and think outside the box and really figure out a way to bring yourselves and keep yourselves I guess above water, for lack of a better term, right? Because everybody there are a lot of bands that I really like that they released an album in 2020 and nobody's been talking about them since, right? Because there was so much stuff going on, they kind of got like lost under the waves a little bit. What do you think that you guys, because you guys are relatively new as far as playing together and everything like that, first album in 2020, what do you think in that part of your trajectory, your journey, your career, whatever it is that you want to say at that point, what do you think you really learned about you guys as a band and like your unit by going through this and putting this thing together and finding a way to hone your craft and get stuff out there?
Perseverance. You know what I mean? It's like so many bands I find throughout the years, just even looking at the local scene here in Vancouver, BC, Canada, would just give up if certain things wouldn't happen. COVID was the ultimate test for big bands even. There's tons of bands that broke up because of it. But just to persevere, to keep yourself busy, it's like, I believe you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. With songwriting, with how you are as a band, business-wise, doing your PR, social media, all that stuff. So we just tried to do many different things in many different directions. I think you described it perfectly, John, to keep our heads above water, to be honest. Because now, technically, we have 2 fucking albums out there that we still haven't toured, and thankfully we have a show coming up in a week with Avatar here in Vancouver, which will be great.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be awesome, and that's going to start the whole touring thing for us. But yeah, over that time, I think the biggest thing was just to be creative, to put our music out there in many different ways, do lots of behind the scenes things, let people in behind the scenes of what our lives are like, and then, just create more music, release it in a timely fashion, and keep ourselves like in the now, in the loop with everyone in the metal scene.
It's amazing to see the parallels between your interview and the interview we just did with Hanno from Mantar. Perseverance really is the word of the day. I mean, obviously word of the last couple of years and everything like that, but it's interesting to see those parallels. And we all know that every band had to go through that and figure out a way to do that. But you mentioned it again, so I'm going to bring it up and ask you right now. You guys have a show coming up in a week, and then in 2023, which feels like 1,000 years away, but really it's only like half a year away.
Right.
You guys are going to start doing a headlining tour to really start getting that stuff out there. How impatient are you for those moments, and what do you think is like going through your head with the fact that you have 2 albums, or I don't know, whatever, an album and a sort of EP, major, like mini album, major EP, I don't know, worth of material to do?
You're describing a hell of a lot better than I can, man. I'll tell you how much.
That's the coffee going through me right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's exciting. It's like we have this opportunity to play live with Avatar, which is great, on July 27th. And then we got this headlining tour. And as far as it goes, we're going to play the majority of the shit off both those records. It's like, if we have a headlining set, we're going to play as much as we possibly can for those people, because, we just want to show the variety that we can give them, including the cover songs. Right. So it is super exciting. And yeah, you know what? There's definitely some impatience there, man. It's like, I just want to get the fuck out there. I want to play. It's like I did that for 16, 17 years with Devin, touring the world for countless years. And our touring schedule is fucking bananas, man. So like to not do it for 4 years is just, it's crazy. Right. So yeah, I'm really chomping at the bit here to get out there and play live again. I'm really excited. The whole band is. We're stoked.
Okay, I can tell just from your voice that you guys are just like, all right, let's fucking time travel to that time so that we can be doing that.
Now, tomorrow. Yeah. Let's go.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Cori, jump in here, please.
Going without shows was just uncomfortable is the best way I can describe that. But since you've mentioned it a couple of times, you do have quite, a resume in the industry. Yeah, Imonolith is new, but you've been around the block a couple of times. We do have a lot of people who watch who are in bands themselves. What is one piece to either a new artist or an aspiring band? What is one piece of advice that you would give them?
Thing is, I really believe that, first of all, not only do you have to believe in yourself and your music, but most importantly, be a first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else. Do what you love. Play what you love. Just don't try to be someone else. We all have influences and we all take from them. That's great. I think that's important. But you know what? Take that influence, make it your own. And that's what Imonolith does. You know, it's like sometimes we get compared to specific bands. You'll read all about it. You know, it's like, but it doesn't matter to us because we're truly doing what we love. And I believe you're going to have the best success at anything you do in life, never mind music, but anything in life, if you truly do what you love and love what you do every single day. So just be that first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else. Don't try being someone else. Stick to your guns, believe in your music, and give it everything you got. And I can guarantee you that's what's going to give you your best chance at success with your music.
Awesome. Like,
I
was going to say, there's not really much more you can say other than that. John,
that's it. That's what I believe, guys. You know, I've like I said, I'm a pretty positive person. I have my shit days. You know what I mean? It's everyone does, right? But truly, it's like my Opa, Dutch descendant. My Opa is my grandpa there. You know, he had this quote, and he always said, "Life is what you make it." So, you know what? Just try and make it the best you can. When those shit days come, just deal with them, but persevere, get through it, you know, and just be yourself and move forward and love what you do. And it's amazing what can come from it.
My follow-up question, Cori, is if you could just repeat all that on my phone so that I could have inspirational quotes to wake me up with every day.
Whenever I'm having a bad day.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Let's just like program these. It's like, oh, I'm sad today. The Ryan button. So inspirational.
We're on to something. Maybe we'll start a business here, guys.
Yeah, so switch from memes to like inspirational quotes. That'll, yeah, I mean, right. Yeah. Or keep doing the memes because I really like the memes. Do them both.
Oh, they're
don't stop with those.
Yeah, don't stop with those.
My final question before Cori gets to her massively important world-changing question to end is just how are you feeling now? Do you I know that you guys are ready to tour and get out there. Is there still like inspiration rocking around in there? Are you just like ready to leave the songwriting behind, get on tour, and then kind of pick it up whenever you guys pick it up?
That's a good question too, because all of us are super excited to get out there and play live. There's no question, that's a given. But I think the songwriting machine in Imonolith, it's constantly going. Like, our bass player Conan just laid down a bunch of riffs and sent them in. John always has riffs. I'm always writing. Oswin and Kai, they're always throwing in ideas. So like that never stops with us. That's the thing that I love about this band is you have 5 dudes who are inspired 24/7. And, even though we just released something, we can't wait to release our next full-length record. That's going to be a true record. You know what I mean? It's like, but yeah, we're excited for it. So the writing machine in Imonolith is constantly going. And everyone inspires each other. We get along great. John and I are the main songwriters in the band, but everyone puts riffs in. Everyone's in there. So that's what also helps make a band progress, right? But yeah, it's always going, and the want to tour it's at an all-time high. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's kind of getting everything else right now. Like all the other emotions are secondary, other than we need to play shows.
Yeah, playing shows is at the top of the list for sure. But that writing machine is always going in this band with a bunch of talented dudes. I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
Not surprising to hear. Cori, please jump in with the most consequential question that Mr. Ryan will hear all fucking year.
It's true. This is the career-defining question that any person in any band could ever be asked, really any industry at all. What is your favorite dinosaur?
Oh, geez. Oh, come on. Really? See, I'm gonna sound so typical by saying this, and you guys will guess it just by me saying that. What do you think I'm gonna say?
Either T-Rex or Velociraptor.
Yeah, it's the T-Rex, man.
It's a classic for a reason.
It is, right? It's like, I don't know, Velociraptor, sure. They're badass. They're sneaky little fuckers going around scaring the shit out of everyone. But you know what? You see a T-Rex, you're just, no.
They could run quite fast. There's no getting away from that. There's no hiding from that either. Not in a bathroom or it's just not in a kitchen.
And they're just badass looking. It's like, it is the metal mascot. That's a T-Rex when it comes to dinosaurs, man. You know?
The guys at T-Rex thank you for that, by the way.
Sponsored by.
Yeah.
Sponsored by. This is no way sponsored by dinosaurs. No.
Yeah, right.
All right. Yeah. So, Ryan, thank you so much for getting on here, talking about the album, sharing your wisdom with us, and just chatting and being a good dude. We've appreciated you having you on, and I'm so stoked that you and your bandmates get to finally be playing shows again very, very, very soon.
Yeah, it's exciting, and you know what? Thanks so much to you guys, like notfast.com, simply badass. You know, it's an honor to be on here. And you guys were great, awesome questions, and you know, just thank you very much for the support. And to all the people out there listening and stuff, if you haven't checked us out, give us a listen. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And you know, to all the people who do follow us, thank you so much. You know, it's been a tough couple of years here, not only for us but any band on the planet. And you know, we're just grateful that we're able to get out there and do this. And trust me, we're going to kick some major fucking ass once we do get out there. That's it.
Fuck yeah. You heard him, everybody. I'm going to try this one more time. Ryan Van Poederooyen from Imonolith. Nailed it. Let's go. Thank you so much again, Ryan, for your time. Mazza put a link to the record in the chat, everybody. If you're feeling the lesson, if you're feeling the conversation, go click on it, pick up the record, and support Imonolith when they are on tour over the next, I don't know, 4 years probably. You got
just
a lot of time to make up.
Just like no breaks, nothing in between, no days off, just going.
I'm telling you, we're going to go for as long as we possibly can. We're going to go for a nice long run, trust me.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. Well, have fun. Be safe out there. Hopefully we'll see you on the road at some point. Our paths will cross. So again, thank you for your time. You can just close out of the browser whenever you're ready to go, my friend, and enjoy the rest of your Monday.